Hello, badass humans. I am wrapping up my day. I've been up, I guess the rest of the world is up this long too, but I've been up since like 8. I started working started taking clients around 10, and I'm still going. So it's about 9 o'clock p.m. now. And the message coming in before I wrap up is everything is already planned. Like, there's no such thing as coincidences, none. We all meet for a reason, to learn something, to be empowered, to grow, it's really all to grow, right? And I keep getting all these emails and different discovery calls where people feel guided to connect with me, or like I just randomly popped up in their search engine or on their feed through word of mouth, and then like a year later I pop back in, and it's just amazing because it's like it's validation that the universe is always dropping us seeds. And a couple of my sessions today, things came forth in coaching sessions as well as in limitless sessions, and all weekend, actually, always, but like particularly the last few days of, oh wow, like that's not the first time I've heard that. I remember hearing that a few years ago. Or yeah, I used to do that. I don't do that anymore, but it's like spirit is bringing it back into the awareness. One of my clients, he also had a few months ago, spirit had brought in a channeling for him and brought in the energy of the Thunderbird. And he was telling me the other day, he was like, yeah, I couldn't wrap my head around that session just because of where I was, but it's been coming more into my awareness, and now I understand why spirit was bringing up the Thunderbird. He goes, and it's funny because I was gonna buy a Thunderbird pendant, and I realized when I was 17, or between 17 and 20, a dear friend of mine gave me a Thunderbird pendant, and like that was like over 20 years ago. And so it's just amazing because spirit does this with me, with you, with everybody. They're always bringing things into our awareness that we might not understand at that moment, right? But it's little treasures, I call them, little seeds, little beans of inspiration, little gems just being dropped. And every time I buy somebody a gift, it's usually not because they ask for it or want it. It's because I am inspired, and I don't know why, but I don't question it. If I give someone a crystal, it's for instance, it's because I was guided intuitively. They need this, even if I don't know why at that time, or they know why. Or like any random gift or trinket, right? It's just like I just have to give it to them. And then later it's like, oh my God, that's like what my mom used to give me, or my grandfather, or wow. And it's just interesting because the universe is always talking to us, because our higher self, source, already has our plan. Like everything's already happening as it's supposed to. And with this information, trust. Like, if we all just really took a minute and was like, just breathe, right? Like, breathe, love. And we just pause and we're like, all right, what happened today and yesterday and this whole week? And we just sit and think like, is this a cycle? Has this happened before? What messages have come forth? What were these random acts of like joy that snuck in, or frustration or stress? And we reflect on it. There's answers there that our higher self is like, pay attention. And please, darling, don't stress, because your life is already planned. So you can resist by being stressed and try and shift the narrative through a lower energy emotion, or you can sit and pause and breathe and trust in this now moment of what's happening. And this morning, I work with a lady in Portugal. She's a love. And all my clients are. Her and I, universe definitely brought us together. She randomly found me. She's re-signing for another coaching package. But in Europe, their time doesn't change. Unlike here in New England, it just changed. So I'm sitting there waiting for her to sign on. Spirits dropping into my awareness, words and things we're gonna work on. And I was like, something feels dull. Like, what's happening? And one of the words was like broadband, and another one was around time something. So I'm waiting for her to sign on. I'm like, oh, I hope everything's okay. I didn't feel that nothing was wrong with her. But her time didn't change. So we didn't have our session today. So we rebooked it. But I didn't sit there and be like, oh my God, because I paused and I was like, all right, is everything okay? And I checked in with me and her energy. All right, so what can I do within this hour to be productive for the next one? Or what is the message here? And it was like, you have a list in front of you. We're giving you this hour to bang out this list and to stretch, because you didn't this morning. You just got up and you went to lay back down, stretch, because you have a long day. So I was like, so I started diddly dallying on the computer, ignoring. And then I saw that my next client sent me a text and was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I forgot it was today. Can we rebook? I was like, all right, universe. Now I definitely have time to get stuff done. And I did. I went and ran errands. I got a couple healthy aloe energy drinks. I did my stretches. I got stuff done. I checked off half my list. I had a lot of stuff. But it was like, oh, the universe already knew this, right? And the other thing is like, I just want to also speak upon is when I left the hospital, right? Like, I was in this very unknown, I don't even want to call it gray, because like I was excited about it, even though I had a lot of pain around the situation. I was like, all right, what's gonna happen? And it was when I really had to learn to trust the universe more, as in trust my higher self and what my path had. So I just kept saying, I allow myself to receive what's in the highest and best. I allow myself and I trust in the unknown path. And the more I said that, it rewired my brain to really trust the process. So when something would happen that was like, whoa, and threw me off of my schedule or had the potential to crush my ego, I remembered my mantras, my affirmations, my stating of, I'm allowing myself to trust in this path. I'm allowing myself to trust in the unknown. I am trusting that the path is already weaved before me and I am here. I am here and I'm trusting that I'm protected. And the more I did that, the smoother life got. And it's not something that happens overnight, right? Because it's years of conditioning that needs to be valued, right? And but something I want to say is, even though I've only been new to the entrepreneurial game for a year, I've done pretty well for myself in the sense of finding balance. There's more things I could do better, right? You can always do better, but really doing better is seeing within yourself why you feel like you need to do better. It's about just being, right? But I was in a very intense trauma coaching certification. When I left the hospital, I was signed up for a couple fairs where I met clients and who became coaching clients, but I had to put myself in these unknown situations and trust. I signed on like 7 coaching clients in a month, right? Then I signed on a couple that I realized they're not showing up and putting in the effort. So rather than trying to hold on to them out of money fear, like fear of making money, we decided no, it's not working, like, and stopped the contract because I realized if it was meant to work, it would, right? If it's not meant to work, it's for a reason. So don't force it. Over the summer, I probably had, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11 calls, discovery calls for coaching that were like, I'm going to sign up, and did it. I had people steal my content. Um, I had a lot of moments where I was like, what the F? Maybe I'm not a good coach. Maybe I'm not a good human being. But I realized those were quick ego things to allow me to stay small and to not trust the process, right? So I sat and reflected, what within these calls can I learn? How can I better deliver? Or what else am I supposed to be focusing on, right? To be in service more for myself and others. Like it's a relationship. So I realized somewhere within me, I wasn't fully showing up, or I was being called to focus on something else. So whenever there are moments in your life where you feel like it's a setback, it's not. It's a pause in order for you to accelerate forward when the universe is ready. It's our ego that's like, let's go, resist. Oh, we're shitty. No one signed. Um, oh, the person didn't show up. Like, what's wrong with me? Or, well, I guess I'm just gonna not do the rest of my day, right? It's like, no, there's a reason. There's a reason for everything. So I guess I'm just on here telling you to trust the process, because less stress, people, less stress. But in order to trust the process, you have to pause and reflect and breathe into your center and be like, what is this nasty thought coming up and why is it coming up? And if you have a vision of something, if your imagination can create something and you don't know how you're going to get that, but you had and have the vision, it's because it's a potential somewhere and it's your potential. And it's a matter of you pausing, trusting, and asking for that potential to come in, asking for it, asking. Keep asking. Don't just stop asking because it's not working as you're perceiving it to be working. Everything is happening in divine timing, and the universe and the energy is speeding up. The souls are awakening, as in the star seeds, the light workers, the ones that are really here to show up, to shift consciousness to a higher vibration. Wake up time right now. Like it's happening. And I'm a coach, Maria's a coach that can really support you in this acceleration to trust the process, right? But even if you're not into spirituality and talking to parts of you in other lives, that's okay too, right? This video is just to remind you your life, your purpose, everything is already here. It's just a matter of you resisting or allowing yourself to trust the process so things come. It doesn't mean things don't get uncomfortable, but I've learned that in moments of discomfort, if I allow myself to feel them and observe them and witness them, no matter how many times they keep happening, the discomfort lasts less and less. More love I feel. I've realized that when I am tired, it's because I'm not allowing myself to witness what I'm feeling. It's one of my default coping mechanisms, that it's like, oh, I just don't want to show up today. And I also realize that when I'm on the brink of transformation or like a new layer of me and self-love and really like powerful sessions with my clients, my body, it shifts to the future energy that like I get tired because I'm like, okay, I got to eat some fruit. I got to drink some more water. I got to stretch and I got to go outside. I got to culinary. I need some vitamin D. I need some sun, right? I need to go take a shower. There's all of the elements here because earth is medicine to help us show up. It's just a matter of checking in. So trust that you're in the right place in the right time, that when you're showing up for you, as in compassionately and unapologetically, and you have a vision and you keep asking for what you want, knowing that it's coming from a state of love, not greed and not fear. Here you go, saying it to you. But also when you celebrate your wins, when you feel joy, when you feel joy. And feeling joy is hard for a lot of people. I didn't know that I wasn't feeling joy for a really long time because I thought joy came from alcohol and being in toxic friendships where I was playing a facade. I didn't know I was even playing a facade. Had no idea. I just thought that that's what the rest of the world does to have fun. So that's what fun must be. But once I connected with me and took risks and just kept saying, I'm trusting in this unknown path, I found joy because I was like, joy is deeper and more profound than any fear. But I have to trust that I'm worthy of joy and that I've put in my contract to receive joy. And if you're sick, you have some disease in your body, rather than hating it and being like, ugh, find a way to bring in a visual of joy or a feeling of joy or telling yourself, I am healthy, or connecting to where that illness or that disease or that pain is and showing it love, showing it acceptance. Everything just wants to be befriended. So the more you befriend your troubles, the more you befriend your suffering, game changer, game changer. Because you getting sick was part of the plan on one of the potentials of existences. And there's something for you to learn there. It doesn't mean you did anything bad to yourself to get it, to get sick. No, because that's a judgment and that's an ego. And it doesn't mean that someone else gave it to you. Mm-mm. We are the controller of our reality. We are. So I love you. And I hope this video did something for you. But breathe love. We had a patient when I worked in the hospital who was dying. She had lung cancer and all types of cancer through her body. She was young. So we all got together and donated to her GoFundMe and got sweatshirts. So breathe. The air takes us in and takes us out. I love you. I love you so much. Trust that you're here for a reason. Nothing is happening coincidentally. And the people that you are meeting, you're meant to meet. So pause because they're either here to teach you something or you to look within yourself and to see, hmm, 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 hmm.